Oh, hello. How's everybody doing? I hope
Hello.
everyone is joining us. I'm going to get this set up so we can see your comments. Well, I want to welcome you to Beauty Superstars Talk. My name is Miki Wright, and I wondered if you've ever thought of how far your license could take you in this industry. As I said, my name is Miki, and I'm your host. And I actually invite you, if you're on YouTube, to subscribe to us, to ring the bell so you can be notified of more of these great interviews that we're about to embark on tonight. And lately, I've been accused of not sharing my story or enough of my story. And so I want to start this episode with a little bit of my story and how it ties into our guest tonight. So, recently, I got to interview my mom, and she actually went to cosmetology school when I was an infant. So, I've been around the industry pretty much my whole life. And, we talked about myself and my sister who were in the business, being in the business, and how she felt about that. And she was saying how surprised she was when I said that I wanted to go into the industry. And I told her I was just as surprised. Okay. But I remember the advice she suggested, was after being highly suggested to a friend or by a friend that I go to, and that I do this as a career. And she suggested that I go to school and kind of try it out, see if I like it, and it's like, and even if I didn't like hair, there were a lot of things that I could do if I had a cosmetology license. Things like makeup, which I was already into. I could be an artist, I could be a sales rep, I could work for a corporation in beauty or fashion, any of those things. And of course, I did end up falling in love with hair. So I didn't explore too much outside of that. But never in my wildest dreams would I've dreamed of working on Capitol Hill, like our next guest here tonight does. And it just shows you, how far you can take this career and how many different opportunities that there are that a lot of us, we don't even think about, we don't even know about. And so that's part of what this show is all about. And Kimberly Coleman is like, I'm going to bring her on shortly. I want to say a few more things before we actually jump in. But she is Black. She is a female, and she is a barber, and she works on Capitol Hill. So I think it's so impressive for the Senate, actually. And we're going to dive into that. But I wanted to tell you a little bit as far as why I started Beauty Superstars Talk. Definitely is to celebrate artists, Black artists in the industry who are excelling, and to share how many opportunities that there are, like I mentioned, that we may not even think of, that exist, for us to use our gifts, our talents, and to prosper in this industry. So, as I mentioned, I'm Miki Wright, and I'm my second generation. My mom and my sister are in the industry. I've spent my career as an award-winning hairstylist and educator, and I've helped lots of, tens of thousands of other stylists and salon owners to excel. And I'm one of the first African-American owners of a full-service salon and day spa in the country. And in short, you could really say that I love the industry. And so Superstars Talk was actually born out of the unfortunate murder of George Floyd and the racial tensions that erupted after that spilled into the beauty industry. And I actually had the privilege to be on a couple of Zoom calls with various Black artists in the industry kind of coming together, wanting to for us to introduce ourselves to each other, to meet each other, to hear our stories. And, there's definitely some challenges and pain that I heard through subtle and not so subtle racism, within the industry. Or for anyone who doesn't know or hasn't been awake, it's like the beauty industry is probably second to only churches as far as how segregated it is.
Yeah.
And one of the things that was impressive, of course, anyone who was on the call, they did not let any of that stop them. But I left the whole meeting just feeling totally inspired, and like all of these stories have to be shared. And so I've expanded my platform to be able to create a safe space for Black artists who are excelling in the beauty industry to tell their own stories, because I think sometimes others try to tell our story for us. And so this is for us to tell our own story, and we're actually here to inspire, to educate, to heal. And so without further ado, I want to welcome my guest, Miss Kimberly Coleman. So thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thank you so much. And thank you for having something like this that we can share our stories and where we come from. Because some people think a lot of times you just show up with these tools in your hand and don't know the backstory. So I
Mhm.
appreciate this. And a lot of things came out of this whole COVID and this George Floyd kind of thing, even for me. And I'll share that a little bit in my story.
Mhm.
But I'm just a little black girl that grew up in PG County.
Okay.
Uh, Matter of fact, Landover, not far from FedEx Field. I have a girlfriend that I always share that she was one of the ones. Her name is Cheryl Crosby. She worked at the Hair Academy in New Carrollton. She's just one of the ones that kind of had a salon, and she was, we were young, and she had money, and she was buying the jeans and fancy stuff, and I couldn't, I couldn't afford any of that stuff. And my mother said she wasn't paying for me to go to hair school. That
Okay.
I was going to work or go to college. So I ended up going to work. I started working, and I always wanted to do hair, and I kind of on the side helped my girlfriend Cheryl like shampoo hair and things like that, cause so she can share her riches.
Okay.
And just through that, that kind of got me interested in hair. And then I just did corporate jobs. I worked for a Fortune 500 company. I worked for Johnson Controls for 12 years. And I didn't start even thinking about hair until I found a man, and I fell in love. And I dated him for a little while. And, you had the house, the daughter, I had a daughter at the time. She was 12, 13 years old, and in the white picket fence. And I was like, I still wasn't fulfilled.
Mhm.
I still didn't. It was just that one thing that I just didn't have. I had the good guy, the daughter doing well in school and things like that. And I didn't know exactly what it was. And then it just clicked. And I know it was a God thing. Let me say that. It was a God thing.
Mhm.
And I went to hair school. I didn't know what hair school to go to. I talked to my girlfriend Cheryl. I referred back to her, and she said, "Kim, at your age, I was 44 years old. She said, at your age, you need to go to the best. You need to go to the best school, and because you started late in the game." So I decided to go somewhere close by. At the time I was living in Arundel County, and I ended up going to a Paul Mitchell school.
Mhm.
And I ended up in a Paul Mitchell school. And I got there. I liked the school. I filled out this application and did this whole thing. And I only went there because of the name of the school.
Mhm.
I did not know I filled out an application for a barbering program.
Oh.
I thought I was filling out the application for a cosmetology school. And
Okay.
as soon as I finished applying, they said, "Welcome to Paul Mitchell Barbering Program." I said, "What?" In my head. I First of all, it was an all Caucasian school. I didn't want to feel like I was crazy for filling out an application, not knowing exactly what type of school I was in. So I didn't say nothing. I said, "Thank you. I'm excited." And oh man, I was scratching my head and didn't realize after 3 days of signing a contract, you can get out of a contract. But I didn't know that at the time.
Okay.
So God had truly blessed me because in this school, I learned how to do all Caucasian hair. They didn't teach me barbering to the last couple months of this program. So I did, straightening, flat ironing, all kinds of things, prior coloring, cutting, all that prior to even picking up a pair of clippers, which was another blessing because I did not know how to do men's hair at all.
Okay.
So graduating from this program, I was so scared to do. I still was scared to do hair. So what I did before I graduated from this program, I applied to J.C. Penney's in Columbia, Maryland, in the
Okay.
Columbia Mall. And what I did, y'all, I took the front desk for a year
Okay.
because I was terrified of going on the floor at J.C. Penney. But what I had realized sitting at that front desk, I saw people coming in. I wasn't sure if they were coming in or going out because some of the hairstyles was like, so I wasn't sure. So I was like, you know what? If stuff coming in and out of here like that, I'm almost sure I can do something.
Okay.
So I told my manager, I said, hey, I'm in hair school and I'll be graduating in a couple months. She said, girl, I'm going to put you on the floor. And I had built relationships at that front desk.
Right.
People just loved my spirit. I was laughing. I was building a clientele sitting at that front desk.
Wow.
And when I finally got on the floor, I was a hot mess, but I was doing the best I could. I was no dry hair soaking wet. I wasn't putting people on the dry. And because I was building so fast, I don't know if my friends were like, I don't know if my co-workers were like hating on me, not helping me, because I was struggling. Not putting sulfate in natural hair. It was just, oh my God, it was just a mess. But I was just growing. I think in 4 years' time, I was a master stylist, starting off as a designer. So mind you, I still had that full-time job.
Oh, wow.
I was doing JCPenney's on Sundays only.
Okay.
So I don't even know how I got away with that. But I did it for Sundays only. I was still working my full-time job. But I always, for some reason, left Saturdays open. So long story short, my husband's income tax in that salon wasn't working. The numbers wasn't making sense. And in 2010, we moved into our new home after being married. I got married in 2007. And my husband wanted to move in a house together. And when we moved into this house, we had this extra room. And I asked my husband, could I open a salon in there? Once I had to leave JCPenney's because of the money in the income tax, we just didn't want to owe a lot of taxes. Long story short, he said no. And I was like, I wonder why, he does not have an entrepreneurial spirit. So this what kind of got me moving on. So I'm at this job. I remember this job was going to cut down hours. So one day they called me at my front desk and said, hey, everybody around me for months and months was getting hours cut, but mine wasn't. They were saying I was in a safe, secure, because my building had a secure room with, they said your job is going to be fine. They need somebody at that front desk. That day came for me. They called me and said, hey, March, whatever, we're gonna make your job part-time. And I was like stunned, but it was happening to other people. Like they made me like I was invincible, like that wasn't gonna happen to me. Mm-hmm. And then I let my husband know about the part-time thing, and I didn't know if it was going to be daytime, part-time, or even part-time. And now, mind you, I still had the salon in the house because eventually he let me start building a salon in our home, and I found out, and I did that backwards. I started building a salon and didn't find out that I had a zoning area that I could open a salon in my basement. I called the zoning commission in Arundel County, and they was like, yes, you can have it. I was like, thank God, because I already got my floor and my sink in. So I was doing everything backwards with no guidance. That's why people ask somebody that's already done this. Do not do these things on your own. So
right.
And so after that, they called me that day and told me that my last day would be part-time, would be on March the 30th or something like that. And I was like, okay, we talked about it over the weekend. And I say part-time job is for part-time people. I need a full-time job. I'm an adult. I need a full-time job. And so the contract I was working for came back to me and said, hey, they never came to us about it. We contracted you. They needed to come to us. And what they need to do is give you your job back full-time if you would take it. And I was like, I didn't never want to be part-time. So yes, I'm going to take my job back full-time. So they came back to me. So I thought to myself, days after days after days, I was back there 6 months. 6 months later, I was saying to myself, I was like, you know what? they can come and fire me anytime. If I, they might come back and do this again. And I
Right.
said, you know what? If I work for myself, I can't fire me. Only me can fire me, And one day I was in the barber shop getting my hair cut. I was going in Landover getting my hair cut by my barber. And my barber, he passed away 2 years ago. And I remember being in that barber shop, and I remember a girl came up to me and she said, hey, how you? I remember her working in the shop, and because I'm sharing, it just crossed my mind. I wanted to make sure I didn't leave her out, but she came to me and she said, hey, I said, where you been? I haven't seen you in a while. She said, Veronica. She said, yeah, I don't work here that much. I work up Capitol Hill. I work here part-time. I said, Capitol Hill? And I said, oh, okay. I'm thinking, what you do at Capitol Hill? You know what I mean?
Right.
She's black, short hair like me, tall. I'm like, well, what do you do? She said, I work on the house side. I work on the House Representatives. She said, I cut hair. I said, oh, okay. She said, I heard you got your barber's license. I said, yeah, girl, I don't cut no men's hair. I don't cut, especially no black men hair. I don't cut. No. And she said, well, girl, if they hiring, I'll let you know. I'll let you know. And I said, yeah, okay. Just to kind of, please her, or, just kind of jive talking. And a year later, she inboxed me and she said, hey, call this number. And I'm like, call this number for what? Who is it? She said, just call this number. And she never told me what it was about, So I called the guy, left a message. Hey, this is Kimberly Coleman, blah, blah, blah. He called me back, Mike Brown. He called me back. He said, hey, Veronica told me you was a barber and that you knew men's hair and, and here's the contract. Look over the contract and these are the prices and, just, go back and forth. I was like, wait a minute, what? I'm like, what's happening here? He said, okay, let me know, let me know what you think of the prices and stuff. And we could talk in the morning. So I looked over the prices. I said, I don't know, but then I was like, I can't even think about this. I'm going back to DC. I'm not driving in that traffic, So I kind of didn't call the man back. So 2 days later, he called me. He said, hey, I was just wondering, did you have any time this week to come, talk to me and check out the salon? He said, it's not. He says, it's ancient. It's an old place. So, I don't know how you feel about, but could you come down? And then I was like, okay. It just felt like God said, go see, go check it out. Mm-hmm. So I took off my job. I said, I'm going to do a half a day because he wanted me to come early. So I told my job, I'll be back after lunch. I'll come in after lunch or whatever. So I'll go down DC, get on the train. No, I drive. This time I drive. I drive down DC. I mean, the traffic was ridiculous. I get down there, come find out no parking. I'm like, oh my God, what's going on here? Then I had to go through all these magnometers and all this stuff. I had on everything that dinged. My watches, everything. I was like, oh my God. So I get in this place. It was ancient. It's an ancient place, green walls, capitals, all, the Capitol, all these old pictures. So I go in, it's him and this other lady sitting there. They interviewing me. Mm-hmm. Interviewing me. Nobody said nothing about an interview. Nobody said, you know what I mean? So I go through with it, but I'm angry. I'm angry because I felt kind of set up, but I'm like, it was kind of cool that they interviewing me. So it was a weird kind of thing going on. So, long story short, he was like, how about, could you come back? So this was on a Wednesday. He said, can you come back Friday to do 2 haircuts? But in this conversation, in this interview, he kind of whispered, can you cut Caucasian hair? I was like, yeah, I went to an all Caucasian school, so yeah, I can cut, you know. Now, mind you, I'm still not all that great at cutting men hair, you know. I knew enough. So I said, come back Friday. I work, you know. So what I did on the way back to, you know, on the way back to my job, I called him and said that it was like an electrical issue there at my appointment and that I need to go back Friday. And I was like, yeah, go back, Kim, don't worry about it. Matter of fact, take the day. So I go back. Y'all, I know this is a lot, but I go back and you know, they had the lady in photography that does the picture for the badges and another guy that work in HR. So I did them one at a time. So he wanted me to color the lady's hair, and then I cut. You know, being in a salon, you know how to move everybody fast. So I took the lady with the color. I color her hair because I always cut before I color. That's just me. I sit her to the side. I bring the guy in. I cut his hair, but I give him a whole consultation. Give them both a whole consultation. I'm smiling, being myself. You know, not thinking I'm in a private room. So,
okay.
You know, we have private rooms in there for our senators. And for, you know, because we don't only do the senators, we do Capitol Police, you know, staffers, lawyers for each senator, because each senator have plenty lawyers. And so I did that, knocked that out. And as soon as I finished that, the guy said, could you do a background check today? I said, today? You know, I'm telling you, all this stuff going on now, mind you, I never had a conversation with my husband.
Okay.
Never told him nothing. So I go get this background check, y'all. Go get this background check. So I knew I wasn't gonna have no problem with that. Go over there, sitting there, and talk to the. Now, mind you, all this is happening, you know, without my permission. I know God is working through this whole thing because I never asked for this job. I never, you know, all this stuff was happening. It's not like he interviewed other people. Because bottom line, after all this transpired, he felt like long as I knew Veronica, that I had a job. Long as I passed the background check, I had a job. So all this was veering on having relationships. You know, I truly believe that you build relationships and you do unto others as others do to you. And, you know, that's kind of how that whole thing happened. You know, my background check was coming in, mind you, I'm thinking background check, you know, might take a week or 2 weeks. He said, I'll be back on Tuesday. It's Friday. So now I got to have a whole conversation with my husband now. Right. Mind you, as this stuff was happening, I kind of was bits and pieces, you know. Now, mind you, you know, we have a church family and they say, you know, I'm in a wife for life group. And they said, if your husband decides to tell you, no, you can't take that job, guess what? You can't take that job. I'm like, what? I'm like, huh? And so I told my husband, I was like, I did a background check and da-da-da. He said, why would you, at 50 years old, take a job? Now, mind you, this was they wanted to hire me part-time, 3 days. I'm going to leave a full-time job, full benefit. And now, mind you, they gave me my job back, you know, not the part-time. They was giving me full-time. And they said they would not come back to me ever and take me part-time again. And one day I just, you know, I sat down at my desk. I said, God, forgive me. You know, for some reason, I feel like I need to be at the Senate. And so what I did, this is what you're going to laugh about, Miki. So my husband was really he was upset. So I gave my 2-week notice. They gave me, I mean, seriously, my job gave me this big party. They were just so proud of me because, you know, at my age, taking this risk to take this job. Nobody understood it, but they were just so happy for me that I would do that at my age. And so they gave me this big party and gave me all this money in a gift card. And And so, like I said, my husband was mad. But so I said, I guess if I get another part-time job, that'll be 2 jobs, and that'll be a full-time job. So I applied at MGM National Harbor and got the job. Now, I know it was God working in my life, because guess what? I got both of the jobs the same day.
Oh, wow.
The same day. He called me, my background check cleared, and Rachel Knapp called me the same day and told me that that I had got the job. So I worked at MGM National Harbor for 2 days, and I worked at the Senate for 3.
Okay.
Now, I went in there half a day on Wednesday, 12 to 4, and I went to MGM Tuesdays and Saturdays. So I just made it happen for a little while. And that traffic going down MGM down 295 was ridiculous. Ridiculous. And they that's where I met Shantae. Love Shantae. And we became good friends. And she told me about Miki Wright, which I've known about Miki for a long time through Beauty Superstar. So if you don't know anything about that, please check her out. She's the bomb. You know. And yeah. And so now, here, so from the first year working there 3 days a week, my clientele grew so fast now, because let me tell you, between going to all these classes, events, all these barbers, these top barbers on Instagram and Facebook and all that stuff, I put them in my pocket. I, inboxed people, took classes. And I'm always, if anybody that knows me, I'm in a class somewhere paying for something. All my money go to classes. Okay. And I learned how to cut some hair. I learned how to become a barber. And what I did after hair school, and after 15 months, I went and got a Master Barber's license. I didn't wait, till I forgot everything. I went right after and got my Master Barber. So I know God had his hand in this whole career thing. Not only that, I went to, in Georgia, we went to that, what is that big,
Brown show or?
The Brown Brothers show.
Okay.
I went to a show and I met Yancey. I met Yancey, and Yancey told me about Crystal Wright. And see, all this time, Crystal was telling me, I went to her class in New York. I did a 3-day class, paid millions for that, but it was worth every freaking dime. Crystal, thank you. And through my whole 4 years of being in full-time hairstylist, because I've never done this, for the 4 years that I've been in this business, I've done a TV show, building relationships. And that's getting ready to come out. It's called Really Love. Angel Williams. Oh my God, that show was amazing. With the likes of working with the likes of Kofi of Queen Sugar, Tasha of Power.
Okay.
Oh my God, it's just so many. It was star-studded. It was amazing. And just the relationships through my PYP sisters. I got to give a shout out to her because she hooked me up with that show. Man, it's been an amazing ride. I also met, it's, names just snap out of your head when you're in the audience. What's the show with Chadwick Boseman? Black Panther.
Okay.
I was able to meet the hairstylist of Black Panther through just relationships, inboxing Instagram. A couple people on Instagram that's really in the hair industry has really been helping shape my career, because I've only 4 years.
Wow.
Working at the Capitol, being at MGM, doing this movie. And then I got an opportunity. I went to a class. The girl remember I was the only barber in the class. All the hairstylists said they want to do Beyonce, they want to do Rihanna. I said, I'm a barber. because Crystal Wright always told me to be a barber because I kept wanting to be a hairstylist. She said, you have a Master Barber's license,
right?
So be a barber. And I remember saying, I'm Kim and I'm a barber. And, she called, this girl reached out to me, Takoa. She reached out to me and she inboxed me. They said, where's that girl barber? Somebody, and she reached out to me and got me a job doing Michael Strahan's hair.
Oh, wow.
I was like, what in the world? God help me, Jesus, Lord. I just freaked out. I couldn't sleep that night. I didn't know. And I told my husband what I was going to do. He was like, you want me to drive you? I was like, I don't know what's happening to my life, God, but thank you. I thank God every morning, every night. My career has just been spiraling out of control. It's just the relationships.
Right.
It's nothing I did. It's nothing I'm not any special person. Anybody could do this. You just your connections gotta be right. You gotta be there for other people. You gotta help people. And through the pandemic, I started a salon call on Mondays at 2 p.m. I reached out to a couple girls that I felt good in my spirit. That'll be a good group of people because everybody don't fit in your circle.
Right.
And I gotta give them a shout out. Every morning we meet. Every Monday at 2 p.m. we meet. Chandra, Elizabeth, she's in New Jersey. Antoinette, Shantae, she's out in Waldorf. Nasha, she's out in New York, braiding hair. Sydney, she just opened her own salon. She used to work for Bubbles. Things didn't work out there, so she opened her own salon. Mm-hmm. Charity, she got a salon that on wheels. And Tony Wallace, she's another barber and makeup artist, just killing the game right now. So it's so important to be there for other people and let them know how much they help you. So that's kind of my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Okay. Well, it is so impressive, definitely. So I just want to backtrack on a couple things for people to really grab onto, because I think you shared so much. I guess, first of all, I'm sorry you lost your barber. It's like that. Those relationships are really meaningful. And so sorry about that. Sorry to hear about that. But, starting a career at, you said 44, I think was when you went back.
Yeah, 44 when I started.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I hope that there's someone watching that's been thinking about it. It's in their spirit. They're like, but I might be too old.
Yeah.
Forget about it. Use Kimberly as an example.
Yes.
Like I shared, my mom is in the industry, and it's like she started college, met my dad, they got married and had us, and she never finished college. So several years ago now, she was like, you know what, you guys are grown, and I never finished what I started. And she wanted to go back to school, and she got so much, hate or shade or however you want to put it.
Yeah.
Like, are you just doing something to put on your, on your tombstone or something crazy like that? But she was like, she's been out for 11 years, and she was like, that's the best thing she's ever done.
Man. Yeah. You don't know how. You just don't know. See, all this is happening. Like I said, it's God in the vein. I never thought I'd be working in Capitol Hill. Dark skin. Look at me. And now when the senators or another Caucasian walk in and say, "Okay, Kim is going to be your stylist," first thing they like, I don't know. But as soon as I'm finished their hair, they like, I'm gonna tell whoever's in my office to come see you. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's kind of sad that I have to do your hair for you to love me or like me, but it's okay. Whatever works for you. You know what I mean? And you gotta have a thick skin, because they might not choose you until you do their hair. But sometimes you have no choice. It's only 4 of us in there.
Right.
I'm just a little dark skinned one in there. And guess what? They come back, and I I don't know. I like I said, I've been blessed, and sometimes if your self-esteem is low and you don't feel good about yourself, yeah, you'll struggle in that atmosphere. You really will, because sometimes they look away before they look at you. You know, they see you come down the hall and look in another direction. You know, it even been times, you know, I would be in a lunchroom or something, and I say, hey, you know, how you doing? It's like, oh, hi, you know, like I'm like, I've been standing behind you the whole time. You know, I've been here every 6 weeks.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And I stand out in the crowd, okay?
Yeah.
So, if you don't have a thick skin and uncomfortable in your skin, yeah, you'll have a hard time. But I love what I do. And I know I changed some lives in there. I get interns where they're getting ready to get married, or one guy is struggling with hair loss at 23 years old, you know, being an intern. And I say, you know what? I said, you got an awesome spirit. You know what I mean? And, you know, if I was a girl your age, as cute as you are and nice as you are, I would love to, you know, spend some time, you know. And he was like, Kim, I'd be so worried about my hair loss that I don't even put myself out there. So thank you. You know, and so the front desk said, Kim, you just got a $25 tip. She said, you know, just things like, and it's not even for the money. It's not even for the, it's just in my spirit to make you feel better, you know. So it's like I said, you just got to have a thick skin, and you got to be all right with who you are, because you do have, you know, some struggles, and you know, me being dark skinned and curly hair, you know, but let me get my clippers in my hand.
Okay.
You all right then.
So talk to me, because I think that feels like, to me, and it might not be true, something that can come with age, as far as the maturity and self-acceptance.
You know what? It comes with age, but it's also, you know, I connect with my higher power. Like me and God are good friends, and I, you know, just the struggles I've been through, just period, as a person, you know, I've accepted who I am, you know. You know, sometimes I even struggle with, I want to relax my hair, or I want to, you know, no, I'm okay. I'm okay with me. And like I said, being in a setting in the Capitol, you gotta be okay with you. Really.
Right. But I think that's almost anywhere, you know, that there's a certain level of self-acceptance, and, you know, experience helps, I think, sometimes with that, if we're, like you say, on the path, you know, whether it's developing that connection with your higher power, if it's doing some, you know, self work, if it's working with other mentors who see in you everything that's in there.
I do. I got several. I got hair mentors. I got a wife for life mentor. Shout out to Beverly Little. You know, my church, First Baptist Glen Arden. Shout out to First Baptist. You know, I got a lot of groups. I'm telling you, I got a circle of people that's amazing. You know, and I feel like it's just so important. You know, I reached out to a couple people. You know, I reached out to a couple people just before this call, you know, to pray for me. You know, that I was going to meet with you on this interview, because, you know, it's not easy doing this, you know, but I just live in my truth, and being starting at 44, and all these things happen to me is not, I didn't have anything to do with it. I just put me in a path with just strong people in my life, and I took suggestions, because a lot of times I don't want to take them. You know, I'm now 58 years old. You know, I gotta wear crazy looking shoes. You know, I can't be cute all the time, and then, you know, so it's a lot of little things I deal with. You know, but I love what I do, so I don't feel no pain till it's time to limp up out of Capitol Hill and get on that rock train. Because I'm driving up there. I'm taking the train.
Okay. That's smart. Yeah, and Angela says you're beautiful just the way you are.
Thank you, Angela.
Thanks. And On Facebook, if you're joining us on Facebook at the end of the message that says this is going live, there's a little area in there where you can put your name so we can actually see it when it comes up. But this person on Facebook says awesome testimony.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. And it's like, we got, I believe in your change. Trisha Taylor. And we have another superstar, Monet Everett.
Girl, she my PYP sister.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, and we've got lots of folks that are sharing your comments. We appreciate it. So it's like, keep them coming.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and yeah, it's like I'm definitely so inspired by, you know, everything that you've done, the way that you put yourself out there. Like you say, there's like, it's not yours, but there's so many things that I want to point out that I think set you up for where you are. You know, like you say, your relationship with God and your connection with other people in terms of mentorship. But you were saying it's like all your money just goes back into learning. How you went to this class and this show, and you know, you mentioned New York, going to see Crystal Wright. You mentioned the Bronner Brothers show. Those are things that are you setting up you for success. You know, that investment in yourself, that you're worth, that pays off in other ways. You know,
and they don't happen right away, Miki. You know, the relationships I made back at Bronner Brothers, you know, I don't meet people, just don't, God just placed them in later. Like he just waits. He like hold them up like, okay, she don't need you right now. Yeah. This is when she needs you. It's so crazy. Right. I'm still in awe. Just when I'm sharing my story, I'm like, Jesus. It's just, I'm still in awe.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, I think it's wonderful just to kind of hear it the way that it all fell together. Yeah. And Renee Mapp says she needed to hear this.
Yes, ma'am.
So we are touching lives today.
In his time, not yours.
What'd you say?
I said God does it in his time, not yours.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So tell us, you know, I don't know what I just did. I think we're still connected here. Yep, there we go. Okay.
Yeah.
I did something and the whole screen went whoop. So you just never know. So you were signing up for cosmetology school, but you actually accidentally signed up for barber school. So are you a cosmetologist or you're?
I am a master barber.
Master barber. Okay. Yeah. And you mentioned like the prices and stuff with the Senate and
yes.
How did that part work? Like you started out part-time. Right. Like, do you get benefits? Is it, you know, it's like, we don't want to dive too deep, but is it like salary?
No, I'm a contractor. I pay booth rent. Yep.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yep. Okay. Interesting. So yeah. You know, there's somebody out there wondering how that works.
But you know, it's a God thing because I left a job. I have a salon in my house. I pay booth rent outside of the house.
Right.
Part-time.
Right.
Now, and then I'm saying in months, my clientele grew so fast because I went out on blind faith. None of that makes sense. If you listen to it, it don't add up.
Yeah, which is the beautiful thing. I think
the most money I ever made.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And look, we're in a pandemic and we're going to election. So anything that happens in the Capitol affects my money flow.
Right. Okay. So tell us about COVID and about how that affected, you know, you personally, but you as a barber for the Senate and the, you know, the whole everything there.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we cut down to 3 days. I'm going in Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I'm off on Friday. So, you know, Friday's a busy time.
Okay.
But God put that salon in his basement.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So were you out for a while with the lockdown and
yeah, we were out. We didn't go back to June the 8th.
Okay, June the 8th. Okay. So has it been different since you've gone back? Because I know like people in general salons, it's been a little different.
Yeah, people still working from home.
Okay.
You know, but still the Senate front desk is still connected to the Senate. You know,
Okay.
even though our booth rent, so they send out emails letting everybody know that we're back, and you know, we back working when the Capitol is in session. Where, you know, they come back, you know, they doing stuff online and stuff, but some stuff they still come in. And because the shop's still open, as long as it's open, they coming in there.
Okay.
So, and to get in there, you outsiders can't come, you guys. So you can't come in, but you have to go, you know, through the Capitol Police and through the magnometers and stuff.
Okay.
Because, you know, we want to stay safe.
Definitely.
And, but yeah, outside people can come. I get clients where they just Googled it and it said the Senate Barbershop. And they was like, how cool is that?
Right.
I'm like,
and so you do full service there.
Yeah, so we used to have a nail salon. We don't have nails anymore.
Okay.
So it's just 3 lady barbers and 1 guy.
Okay.
So it's just 4.
You do barbering for men. Do you do like women's hair, like cuts and curl, and you know, color demo?
Yeah, and we only work from 8 to 4:30.
Okay.
So I'm home at 4:30.
Okay. That's a nice,
Oh yeah. And now, how many hairstylists said they didn't go home at 4:30?
Right. Exactly. Yep. They would definitely feel like, oh my God, I'm missing out. You know.
Yeah. No. Because just think, from 8 to 4:30, you know, it's millions of people. Not only do I do hair for Senate employees, Senate staffers, and senators, I also do House of Representatives. So they come over there.
Okay. So do they have their own shop on the other side?
They do. That's where Veronica works. Shout out to Veronica.
Okay.
Veronica does the hair on the house side.
Yeah. I don't think I ever really thought about it one way or the other. Like,
I had no idea.
Yeah. And, you know, it's like, I know when I think around when I first moved to the DC area, it's like, I think, Robin Weir, and there was another gentleman who were like the first ladies hairstylist, you know, they were, you know, local, of course, in the DC area. And, you know, that always seemed like, oh, wow, that's a, you know, like a wild kind of position to have or what have you. But it's like, I never thought about the Senate and, you know, just all these opportunities. That
I mean, you know, hopefully Miss Kamala Harris, I'll be in the White House.
Okay. It's like, well,
I got here, didn't I?
Yep, absolutely. So I guess we had the whole I've forgotten what they called it, but the Nancy Gate kind of thing with the COVID and the and all of that. Does that affect you and what you guys are going through? I'm sure people are talking.
No, you know, it's just like anywhere else. You just don't talk about politics and religion.
Okay.
You just don't. I mean, you know, people try to sneak something in, but you know, I might have a reporter sitting in my chair.
Right.
But I have to be careful about what I say and who I say and who I talk about.
Right. Absolutely. That makes sense. And that's, you know, like the standard for most salons, like you said.
Yeah. You don't do it in a regular salon.
Right. Yeah. So what about the things like the only time I remember really being on Capitol Hill, I was part of TSA, which was the Salon Association. It's now moved into PBA, the Professional Beauty Association. And I went down a couple times where we actually provided services for some of the staffers, you know, to be able to have conversations and also to be able to show them what we do on a daily basis so that they could have a better understanding when they're legislating some of these things.
Yeah.
So is that something that ever comes up as far as, you know, what's
when something on the Hill with the hairstylist, they actually just go into a hearing. Some of them didn't even know we had a salon.
Okay.
They just walk past and they see the barber pole.
Okay.
And they come in and say, oh man. And it's so funny how, like me and you, didn't know it was a salon in there.
Right.
And so I don't know what they called it back in the day, but now we call it the Senate Hair Care.
Senate Hair Care. Okay.
We call it Senate Hair Care.
Okay.
It might have had a Senate barber at some point.
Right.
But,
Okay.
I never looked into it, but we call it Senate hair care now, just to let everybody know that anybody can come to the salon, because it's even people that work there today don't know it's there.
Say that again.
It's people that work in there don't know it's down there.
Oh, okay.
You know, like the new people that start, because you got to remember, when things change, people change out.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So how does that, it sounds like you've been there long enough to have had a change as far as.
Well, when I first started, I thought next month would be my 4th year.
Okay.
When I first started, the president just got in office.
Okay. So you haven't really gone through a change. Okay.
Not yet.
Okay. Yeah. So that's interesting, I guess. I heard before,
it's very interesting. Before
I moved to DC, they were like, it's not about who's in power, but about who you know who's in power, whichever side it is. It's just
well, with jobs, I mean, you move with your senator, or you move with your, whatever's going on in the office or whatever.
Right. Okay. But there'll always be senators, and there'll always be the lawyers, like you say, and there'll always be the staffers.
Police, and
okay. And the police don't change. I mean,
no.
Okay.
No.
And you said they're the Capitol Police that you do.
Yeah, police.
Okay.
Like I say, lawyers. They have each senator has several lawyers.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I would imagine
a lot of the kids from Georgetown University. Because you remember, people can come in from the outside.
Right. Okay. Yeah, it's really fascinating.
Speaker, press secretaries.
Yeah.
Oh, it's nice. I mean, you don't know who you're cutting, because they don't sit down and tell you their title.
Right. Yeah. But it's wonderful, like, to hear your personality and the rapport you're able to build, like the consultations. So talk to us a little bit about consultations, because I think that's such an overlooked part of our business, and how that fit into working on the Hill.
Yeah. So one thing, especially when you're doing senators, they keep their same look.
Okay.
So if you new doing a senator, you got to make sure you keep the same look. You can't do no extra fading. You can't shape them up in the front. You can't.
Okay.
One of the senators got a little shag in the back. Guess what? You need to keep that shag back there.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because their image.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's just like a movie. You got to make sure they keep the same image.
Right.
Or talk about on the news the next day.
Okay. Did you see Senator so-and-so's haircut?
Yes. So I'm careful of that. And a lot of times when I do a senator or whatever, I look them up to make sure I can have the conversation if he needs to. Because I might not know what state they're from, or, I don't know them all. So I'll do my research before, because I know when I come in, your book is already filled. And if you got a senator on your book, they got a special spot on your book, and a senator coming in.
Okay.
And I look them up just so if we need to have a conversation, and I won't ask them crazy stuff like, "Are you where are you from?" Which is crazy, because you should know where they're from.
Right. It's doing your homework, doing your research.
Because you want to, you want to have them come back. You want to be able to, in the beginning, the first 2 years, I wanted it on my resume. But, sometimes, some point in your career, or once you've been there for a little while, I want to cut hair. I want to make people happy. I don't have to do all the senators on a roster.
Right.
It's nice, but, as they get older, it's like, I don't want this. Don't cut my sideburn too short. Don't get, it's just get that. And I want to be able to create. And on senators, you can't create.
Okay. Right.
They want to keep their same look.
Right. Yeah. So do you have a little bit more creative flexibility with, like, the staffers?
Yeah, with the staffers, the intern. I mean, I even get new staffers that you might want a purple piece in in their hair where if they pull it, they let it down during the day. On the weekends, they pull it up. They have a purple strip.
Okay.
We can still rock that.
Okay. Got it. Nice. That keeps it fun.
Yeah. That's
exciting.
Where I'm able to create, where I'm able to work with staffers. Senators ain't doing that.
Right.
Not doing the hard parts, and
absolutely not. Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah, but that's not, I guess, untypical from our salon atmosphere. It's like you've got your kind of core clients, at least, it's like if you have a professional clientele, they are usually, they may go this way or that way, but they're not going.
Yeah, you might go a little shorter, or you might, but you won't be doing anything no different. No.
Right. Yeah. So with like being in DC, you were describing some of the traffic and getting to and from, and other people in other areas might not understand.
The traffic is crazy. Always. And by the Capitol, you can't park near it.
Okay.
We have gates and Capitol Police everywhere.
Okay.
And, so, you can't even look suspicious.
Right.
Sometimes I'm digging in my bag to get my badge out. I'm paranoid seeing there's somebody on the roof, or
right.
what's going on?
Right.
And even like if I hear a loud sound in the hallway, something, because I didn't even know that you can let protesters inside the building.
Oh.
They can protest inside.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, so what about
I remember being in the lunchroom and the Dreamers came in and sat down in the middle of the floor.
Oh, in the lunchroom?
Yeah, we couldn't get to the registers.
Wow.
And the police, as long as they're not tearing anything up, as long as it's peaceful, they can't do a thing.
Got it. Okay. It's the people's building, unless something's going on. Yeah. Interesting. So tell us about, you had said the first time you went down, you had everything blinging and beeping when you were going through it.
I had to take off my belt, pants falling down, take off my earrings, my bracelets. I'm like, I've got to come to work naked.
Right. So that's pretty much how you do it.
Cute little shoes with the, I'm like, oh my gosh, I cannot wear this stuff to work.
Right.
Because, I have to come in a half an hour early just to get through the Magnum meeting.
Right. I've been there through at the airports where when I was doing a lot of hair shows, it's like you have the big jewelry and you have something over here. And like you say, you have the belt with the buckle and the shoes.
And even when I'm bringing in my scissors, in my backpack, they ask you, are you working in the salon? Because I come in on the end where the salon is. And, most of the police on that end know, okay, she works,
Okay.
And, they see them scissors. They like, where you going?
Right. Wow. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
For your everyday work life. Yeah. But security first.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. So is there anything else you want to tell us, about, the Senate and in your experiences, anything that like stands out or something that might be helpful for, someone who's maybe looking to go in that direction? It's like there are lots of opportunities on local levels as well, I would imagine, to work with some of the senators stuff when they're home.
It's like any place else. It's good to know someone.
Right.
Like if they ever need to have an opening or something, they will probably come to one of us.
Right. Okay.
And, is anybody, that can pass a background check?
Right.
Because that's first.
Right.
Background check.
Absolutely.
And they would come instead of go outside, they would definitely like to have somebody in-house that they can trust or, something like that.
Right.
And, that's where it's good where, like I talked about earlier, it's just good to know somebody and have a good rapport. You know, and at some point in your career, you need to pour back into other people. You know what I mean?
So how would you suggest that?
And I feel like when you pour back in, because guess what? You've been in this career a long time. I feel like you need to be comfortable in your skin to teach other people stuff. You know, and I know, especially now with finances and people, things getting tight because of COVID, and you know, your clientele is not like it was. A lot of people, you know, terrified. This COVID thing is serious. You know, these are the times you can give some free education. These are the times you can give back, give a trim or something like that. And I understand. All of us got to make money and pay bills. But guess what? The more you give, the more you get. You know that. As an adult, you know, the more you give, the more you get.
Right.
And I found myself, you know, giving back more. You know, because I had so much time on my hand being home.
Right.
You know, and that's when I, you know, started the Zoom meeting and these ladies on Mondays.
Yeah.
You know, and we're giving, and it's no trade secrets anymore.
Okay.
This is not. You telling people what you're putting in their hair now, you know, because guess what? Nobody can do what you do.
Absolutely.
You know, Miki, you might do it to the right and I might do it to the left.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And it both come out good. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, you know, I don't have a problem with sharing something with my clients or sharing something with a colleague. You know, we all on the same team now at this point.
Exactly.
You know, it's not back in the day, you ain't give out product secrets. You ain't let nobody how you got that blonde hair.
Right.
You know, people selling it for millions of dollars just to go to a blonde class. But you do you. I ain't mad. I ain't hating on nobody. You know, give money how you get it. But hey, you gotta give to get.
Yeah.
You keep on charging what you charge for your little class, you know, and get 2 people in there and wonder why you only getting 2 people in there.
Yeah. It definitely makes a difference with giving and being able to give back.
Because you're gonna make money because you know what you know. You know what I mean? God's gonna bless you because you know what you know. But give something.
Right. Yep, that's a good message. So what about someone who's thinking about going to school right now? Would you suggest the barber or the cosmetology or either?
Make sure you know what school you're in. Make sure you know what class you're in. I say do it. It's still, you know, even with, guess what? This always doing hair is a win-win. They cannot take this from us. As long as you got 2 hands, you can work. I mean, people doing it with 1 hand. You know what I mean? Man, I just get speechless because of the gift of knowing how to do hair. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's a gift.
So what about someone who's like 20 where you were and it's like, I want to do this, but you know, it's like, I don't want it.
I say, hey, your time will come. If you can't afford it, or you can't do it right now because one thing or another, you just had a baby or anything that stood in your way, you know, your mom got sick or something, anything that stood in your way, it just might not be your time, but your time will come like mine did.
Right.
And it came way late in life. I would have never thought about doing no hair, standing up all day at 44 years old. I wanted to sit down at that front door.
Well, you look like you got a lot of life left. So
I'm just saying.
You're just getting revved up.
Hey, I'm enjoying and I told myself, and this is another thing I said to myself, you know, I got a grandbaby. I just, you know, I just want to, you know, before I leave this earth, I want to do something to make me happy. And hair makes me happy.
Yeah.
It's my happy place.
Yeah, I think that's so important. Like, say it again for us, that.
It makes me happy. It's my happy place. Even when I fail, even when a color comes out wrong, or even if a haircut just look crazy to me, and it might make somebody else like, oh, my husband or my wife really like this haircut, and I looked at it and said, oh Lord, and they loved it. That's what makes me feel good.
Right.
Even when I make mistakes, I learn from my mistakes. And guess what? It's somebody out there that knows how to do it. And I ask them. I'll inbox them somebody in a minute. Ask Derek Monroe. I'll inbox somebody in a minute.
Okay. We've had that suggestion a couple times. I know Tia Sterling was like,
I mean, if you respond or not, guess what? It's okay.
Right.
I know who I'm dealing with. You might not have time or whatever it is.
Right.
But if it's in my spirit, I'm responding to. I don't know where you're going to fit in my life.
Mm-hmm.
So guess what? I'm responding.
Right.
I might not respond right away, but I'm responding.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. And like, tell us about like the opportunity to do, is it film or television or both?
Oh man.
And how that kind of came about. You mentioned it.
So, I mean, when I went to Crystal Wright's class, my PYP, Perfect Your Portfolio.
Okay.
She got this program that's off the chain. That's what you need to have on here.
I will. If good Lord will.
Come on, I love Crystal. Come on for Miki, Crystal.
Okay.
And she got this incredible program, and from there, she just inspires you. Because I'm thinking to myself, oh man, I'm old, ain't nobody going, and when you're growing up, you're like, I'll never be able to do that person's hair, or it's no way. Man, when my PYP sister Renee Dyson, when she reached out to me and said, hey, could you assist me on this show? I was like, what? Today? What? She said, tomorrow. Get your kit ready. I was like, okay, what do I need to have in it? I just, I called in. Guess what? And then and watch TV people, because guess what? Half them people, I didn't even know who they were. Okay. And they were A-listers. I thought, was like, Mama, you know who that is? I was like, no.
It's like, speaking of which,
right. Like, my baby. How was me? I said, Whitney, I don't know who that is, sweetie. She said, Mama, that is Tasha of Power. I said, your wife on Power? She said, yes, Ma. I said, oh, I didn't know who she was with, without the makeup and without the wig and all that stuff. I was riding her wig. It was for her.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Michael Ealy, he was there. I was like, oh Jesus, I had to get my heart together.
Okay.
And pull it together, because I just never been in the presence of these people.
Right.
And all I kept saying to myself, I went to the bathroom and I said, God, and all he told me was, do your job.
Right.
Do your job. Do what you came to do. And, and that's what I did. And and all you got to do is behave yourself.
Okay.
Don't go on there taking selfies. Don't do your job. And they'll call you for other jobs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Good advice. All of it. Like, watch TV.
Watch TV, people.
I could see that being me. It's like,
I'm saying, Miki, but you know what? You got to remember, these people look totally different in person.
Mm-hmm.
Not that different that you shouldn't know them, but yeah, they smaller, taller, skinnier. I'm like,
yeah. Plus, I think COVID showed us some of them.
Yeah.
Their glam team is. And I said, not to be insulting, but some of them should write a big thank you letter for their glams.
Oh man, yeah.
It's like, we are important.
Yep.
We are absolutely important.
Without your glam team, you're nothing.
Yeah. I mean, there's still them, but it's like, okay, let's.
Yeah.
Let's get the hair back. Let's get the,
Yeah.
makeup. Yeah. So definitely good.
Yeah.
So
But
what's next for Kimberly Coleman?
what's next for right now? I'm just going to be a grandmother and work at the Senate for a while.
Perfect.
Just kind of, because you get a little worried about now it's election time. So people going to be campaigning, so it might make it a little slow or whatever. Just working Kim Coleman Salon. Like I said, I'm Kim Coleman Salon LLC. So I do have a salon of my own, and that's going well on its own, yeah, just keep chugging along with those two things because they're paying the bills.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I usually start sometimes talking about how we met, but you mentioned, it's like that we met through Beauty Superstars, and then got to meet each other in passing and at a show.
Yeah.
Person, but this is the first time I'm really getting to sit down with you, and then
and Miki, to meet people on like social media, Facebook, and things like that, and actually get to see them in person, because all I knew is Beauty Superstars, and I was so impressed with all you do is want to help stylists. That's all you do, and as a young stylist, it's like, okay, I need the information, the titles. I mean, your titles are amazing. Like, oh yeah, you want to make money. You want to make $100,000. Yes, I do. I need to get with this. And your prices are amazing. You can't beat them. And then you give away free education.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you just can't beat it. And then this platform.
Yeah.
God has truly been blessing you too, Miki. So thank you so much for what you do and all you do for this industry. We love you and thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's like it's in my blood, I guess you could say. It's like
and it shows.
Love this industry, and I'm really happy to be here and be able to share these stories, because it's like, who knows, what you're doing and how it's affecting, you, your family, the folks in the Senate that you touch on a regular basis. It's like, we do so much and so many things, and like this is such a unique type of situation, and a lot of times we don't know that these opportunity exist.
Yeah,
don't feel like we might be qualified for it.
Oh,
It's like, and then being a person of color, it's like sometimes we exclude ourselves before we can have a chance.
Before you give it a chance,
Right. And so I appreciate your power and your presence and your your personality.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah. But it's I hope it's inspiring for others to watch and see someone who's really, God-led, and just allowing the, what doors open, and it's like it's just
because and just to end this, I didn't do it. I had nothing to do with any of it.
Okay. Yeah. Well, when I do things, it's like I always pray to be a channel, and it's like it seems like he's using you as a channel as well.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh,
Yes. So I guess we'll start to wrap things up. And it's like with the Shantae connection, I did want to mention that as well.
Yeah.
I tell some people about my salon daughters. I have two salon daughters. One started at 15 and one at 14. And Shantae is one of my salon daughters who started with me as my assistant at 14. And I became their other mother. And I'm super proud of her. It's like she is the salon, I think, spa director at the MGM Grand.
That's where we met. And she's an amazing stylist. Oh my God, her work is amazing.
Oh yeah. Especially with that short hair. It's like
she rocks some short hair, y'all.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yep. So I'm super proud of her. And I think it's like that, that 6 degrees of separation. It's like it's like we're already connected,
Ma'am.
Yep. So thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to join us here tonight. And I didn't ask, but if anybody has any quick questions, you can put them in the comment section, and we'll try to get this as we wrap up. But again, I want to thank everybody who's here watching us live, who's here watching on a replay. Invite you to subscribe if you're watching on YouTube, and definitely tell a friend about this. Somebody needs to hear this story, this testimony, really. And we want to get these messages out to people who really need to hear them, and just see how great our industry is and the people that are in it, and the things that they're doing, I think, are just absolutely spectacular. So we will have more to come. Beauty Superstars Talks is continuing. And I didn't even mention, but this is Barber Month. So
I know, right?
yeah, Barber Month. And so we've got one more barber who's going to join us next week.
Okay.
And that is Sherrod Holloway.
Okay.
He is based in Raleigh, North Carolina, which is where I now live.
Okay.
And he is a barber educator. He teaches in schools, but he also helps men with grooming, with skincare and with beard care. It's like he's got this amazing beard. So
I'll be on next week.
Yeah, so ladies, stay tuned. And but he's really committed to helping young men become men. Yeah. And teaching them what they need to know outside of grooming to really be great. And I love that. And we need more of that. So, with fathers being absent and all of that kind of stuff within our community. And so I can't wait to meet with him. And he's a great person. You guys will love him. And after that, we go into October, which is Legends Month.
Oh, wow.
And I'm just going to be over the moon. I'm going to be sitting there with my mouth open. So
I can't wait.
Yeah, my first guest on the 6th, I think it is. Yeah, the 6th is going to be John Atchison.
Okay.
And for anybody who doesn't know, it's like he is the father of precision cutting with textured hair.
Yeah.
And he was definitely someone I learned a ton from. He was definitely a mentor to me. And I'll share some stories when he gets here. But I was ready to move heaven and earth to try to get into one of his classes. And so he's going to be my first guest. My second guest is going to be Dr. Hair, Reginald Mitchell. Okay. And he was with Soft Sheen for many years. And I don't know if anybody's old enough to remember the productions that they had on stage. He was part of that. But it's like they had some hair slinging and swinging and choreographed productions. And he's the person who taught me how to act on stage.
Oh, wow.
And so I'm super excited. He's going to join us. And we got another couple folks that we're firming up. I know Floyd is here with us. Yeah, Floyd Kenyatta will be here.
Oh, my goodness.
A date set aside.
That's the name I remember.
Yeah, global ambassador for John Paul Mitchell. I'm not sure if he's still in that role or not, but it was kind of one of those lifetime roles. And definitely he has some serious, history. So I am super excited about that month. And then we're going to go into some things with retail and getting you guys some money in your pocket, which is some of the things that I love to do. Yeah. And so just stay tuned. Just mark off Tuesdays at 7 and join us. And definitely visit beautysuperstars.com. It's like I do have a free gift for you. It's like a video finances. Yeah. Okay. Yep. It's like get your finances in shape. I know COVID's been kind of rugged for some of them. So so it's just some 7 steps you can use to get the hairstylists can use to get their funds back in order.
Awesome.
So yeah, beautysuperstars.com. And I'm also in the process of putting together a program to help 1,000 stylists. It's like I'm going to go big, but I'm going to start probably with 10 stylists to help them generate an additional $1,000 a month. So if you are interested in that, put a message.
Come on now.
Okay, put a message somewhere.
I need to be in that class.
Yep. And it's like sign up for the gift that I have on beautysuperstars.com, or put a message in the chat and I'll connect with you so that I can get you some information. And I want to get your input as far as what you're looking for. So yeah, so it's all about, paying this forward and helping our industry to not only survive, but to thrive. Yes. So yeah. So I want to thank you again, Miss Kimberly Coleman. Any last words for us? Any parting words of wisdom?
No, I just appreciate what you do. I thank you. I thank this industry and the people that poured into me. I'm going to just keep pouring into others.
Yes, yes. Pay it forward. Pay it
Yeah.
forward. So thank you. Thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate you. You are definitely a superstar. And I definitely pray that this blesses some people here.
Yes,
And it's like we've got a couple little things. Thanks for sharing and inspiring from Angela.
Angela, thank you so much.
Patricia Taylor, great.
Thank you, Pat. You're so awesome. That's my girlfriend.
So great things. So everyone, stay fabulous. Keep reaching for the stars, and I will look forward to seeing you next week. And like I said, be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and tell a friend. So take good care. Thank you, Kim, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right.